Hey everyone, in this video I want to go over how to divide rational expressions. So in one of the previous videos we learned how to multiply them together, and in here we'll learn how to divide them. So it's very similar, but there's one extra step, so let's go through an example together. Let's say we have x squared plus 6x plus 9 over x minus 1, and we're dividing by x minus 1 over x plus 3. So let's say we're dividing these two rational expressions, this rational expression over here and this one over here. So it's very similar to multiplying, but there's one extra step. Let's take the reciprocal of this. So whenever we are dividing fractions, very similar to dividing actual fractions, whenever we divide rational expressions, we can actually just rewrite this as a multiplication problem. So let's rewrite this as 6x or x squared plus 6x plus 9 over x minus 1. And we are going to change this division to times. And we are going to take the reciprocal of this, the reciprocal. And the reciprocal of a fraction is just the fraction flipped. The numerator and the denominator are swapped. So we are going to swap the numerator and denominator. That is the reciprocal. So the reciprocal of x minus 1 over x plus 3 is simply x plus 3 over x minus 1. The numerator and denominator are just switching places. And this just turns into a multiplication problem. And we can apply the same rules we learned for multiplying rational expressions to this. So we can go ahead and multiply across the numerator and denominator. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to multiply the numerators, and we're going to multiply the denominators. So x squared plus 6x plus 9. So x squared plus 6x plus 9 times x plus 3 over x minus 1 times x minus 1. And anything times itself is just that number squared. So x minus 1 times x minus 1, that is simply just x minus 1 squared. We can just write it like that. Good. And then we can also rewrite this trinomial right here. We can factor it into x plus 3 squared. So this is a perfect square trinomial, and we can factor into x plus 3 squared. And to see how we get there, just know that it's in the form ax squared plus bx plus c, and the leading term is 1. So we can apply the m and n factoring principle. So we find m and n, two numbers that multiply to 9 and that add to 6. So what two numbers multiply to 9? Well, 3 times 3 is 9. And what two numbers add to 6? Well, 3 plus 3 is 6. So our m and n can just be 3 and 3. So x plus 3 times x plus 3, that just gets us to 3 squared. So x plus 3 squared. And then let's rewrite the rest of this. So we factored this here. And let's write the rest of it down, times x plus 3 over x minus 1 squared. Excellent. So now we actually have x plus 3 squared times x plus 3. So we have something squared times something. We can apply the product rule here. This is x plus 3 squared times x plus 3 to the first. So this equals x plus 3 to the 2 plus 1. So the 2 plus 1, which is 3. So this is x plus 3 to the third. Divided by, we'll carry this over, x minus 1 squared. And that is the final answer. And that is the final answer to dividing these two rational expressions, x squared plus 6x plus 9 over x minus 1, divided by x minus 1 over x plus 3. And one more thing I want to show you is another way this problem could be presented to you. So let me erase some of this. So another way to present this problem, let's write out x squared, and I'll need some space for this. So let's move this a little further up just so we have space. Up here is good. So let's say we had, let's write here, let's divide this. Here we go, x squared plus 6x plus 9 over x minus 1. So that's this first part right here, this first part. Over, so this division is really just a fraction, so divided by x minus 1, so this x minus 1 over x plus 3. So this is another way the problem could be presented to you. You could have a complex fraction right here. Fractions in the numerator and fractions in the denominator. But this is essentially the same thing as this, as the first one. So this right here and this are the same thing. They're just presented differently. But whenever you see it in this form down here, in this complex fraction, all you have to do is just turn it into a multiplication problem. You know that this denominator, you're going to take the reciprocal of it, and this is just going to equal x squared, so the numerator, x squared plus 6x plus 9 over x minus 1, that's the whole numerator. So the whole numerator goes there. And then you're going to take the reciprocal of the denominator, x minus 1 over x plus 3, so then we're going to change this to a multiplication problem, so times. And we're going to take the reciprocal and then move it over here. So what's the reciprocal of this denominator? It is x plus 3 over x minus 1. And there we go. That gets us to the same spot, and then we can continue multiplying and simplifying until we get to our final answer. So that is how division for rational expressions works, and I hope this video helps. Please let me know down in the comments below if you have any questions, and thank you for watching.